This is the 249th episode of CloudFocus Weekly for the third week of September 2016. This episode is titled Apple Updates. CloudFocus Weekly is brought to you by Arkus, specializing in Salesforce implementations, consulting, and Force.com development. Search for Arkus, A-R-K-U-S, on the App Exchange and read what our clients have to say about us. I'm your host, Jason Atwood, and joining me, co-host, 249 times in a row, Justin Edelstein. Justin, how have you been?
It's been a while.
It has been a while.
I guess I've been okay. You know, doing my thing.
He's busy trying to make his pick.
I'm
looking through his purchased on his
what have I
phone.
been up to lately?
Not too late to pick Winter 17.
No, you will take the cake with Spring 11.
Spring 11.
Spring 11.
Still better than Spring 14.
Spring 11 was a killer. It was a killer release.
It was very good. Speaking of killer things,
I know what I'm gonna pick.
All right, you're thinking aloud again.
I know what I'm gonna pick. I gotta go find it though.
Okay. Can I keep going with the agenda, or you're just gonna keep talking aloud?
If you really want to.
All right, so we're going to do the agenda in reverse. So next time, we're going to get into the 6s and 7s, Dreamforce 16 and Winter 17, because we'll have more time next week to do a bigger, fuller podcast. This week, we don't have a lot of time. So we're going to sort of do some sort of catch-up stuff. We have a blog post, which we'll talk about. And then we'll kind of go over just some of the updates from the Apple. I mean, there's been lots of Apple announcements. They did their sort of September thing. There's been purchases that have happened from both of us, so we'll talk about that. And then again, next week we'll make our picks, and then next week we'll get into Dreamforce and Winter 17. There's a lot of stuff going on. We'll do that next week. So thanks for listening. Thanks for downloading. And if you're not an Apple fanboy, turn it off.
See ya.
Or actually, turn it off after this. So first thing up is a new blog post by a relatively new blogger here at Arkus, entitled Sandboxes 101. And
you're allowed to say their names
yes,
now, right?
Ryan Owens.
Oh, okay.
He's got the easiest name to say in our whole company.
Probably.
Other than Jason Atwood. It's pretty easy. You can't miss Atwood. It's very hard to mess up my name.
Unlike the partner who shall remain nameless.
It's
He's nameless because we can't pronounce it.
I can't pronounce it. Still can't pronounce it. Can't spell it. Can't pronounce it. No, I'm not going anywhere. Not going anywhere with that. So Ryan Owens wrote Sandboxes 101, which is really, as I say, it's a very generic start off talking about sandboxes. So
generic sounds so
if
negative.
you just don't know about...
Just sounds so negative.
Don't know about sandboxes.
Generic. It is a 101. It's an intro course.
Intro course.
To sandboxes. You've got them. Now you've got more than you ever had in your lifetime.
It's so true.
You've got partial data stuff.
If you have not been paying attention to your sandboxes lately, you need to pay attention.
You need to start doing that.
Salesforce, for all the crap we give them about making, charging us for more things or charging us for things that we don't need or something like that, they occasionally throw in stuff that used to cost a lot of money and now costs Zippo.
Throw them a bone.
And Sandbox has been one. So we used to, back in the day, if you were enterprise, you got one
developer sandbox.
That's it.
That's right.
Fast forward to 2016, and you now get, was it 34? What's the number?
It's like a billion.
25 developer sandboxes, and, which I think is the real killer, is one partial copy.
Yeah, you actually get data.
Which is really nice. So
good for
thank you,
testing,
Salesforce.
Good for training, good for volume type stuff. Also just much easier to debug things when you have data, like real data, as opposed to
putting in your own data.
Yeah, fakey data.
Yeah, and it's nice the way it works. I mean, I don't know if you haven't done this, you should give it a shot. So go set up your partial copy sandbox. You have to set up a template, and you get to pick the objects that you get to throw in there. It does a random sampling. It doesn't pick, obviously it's a partial copy. So
maintains relationships for you, which is good,
it's
as opposed
really,
to running a script to have to do stuff. I will say, when they did this, I don't know if it coincided with this, and because I think this was a spring thing, And because of, it was either winter or spring, because of the influx of partial copies, the creation of sandboxes for a while there
was slow.
Oh, brutal. The month of August was a bad month for sandbox creation. I waited like 5 days one day for a sandbox. One time I waited forever to get a partial copy created, so I just went ahead and created a developer one, and that one didn't even create. It took like a week.
That would be a nice... I hope that's on the App Exchange or on the Idea Exchange.
It was a known issue that they were having a problem.
Well, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Wait till I say it, then you can agree to it. That would be nice if, like some of the things you do in Salesforce, it tells you, hey, this is how long we think this is going to take. Sometimes.
Yeah.
I would like that. Like if you start a sandbox and goes, hey, here's what we're seeing as a sandbox wait time right now for a full refresh or for a partial or for a developer, just so you get a sense, because, that would also be a nice place to go and trust. Like I'd like to know if I go to trust and see, because sometimes it does take an hour. And so you're like, oh, I could do it now and start work in an hour. If it takes 5 days, that could ruin timelines. It's really, you have to think about that. So that's Sandboxes 101. That is on blog.arkusinc.com. Recognize if you go there now, you're going to see tons of other things, because we have Winter 17, and we have Dreamforce stuff up on the blog now. But we're not going to talk about that. We're going to move off of that, and we're going to go talk about something more fun, because we're going to talk about next time. Right now, we're going to talk about the Apple updates. So Apple had their, I guess they do one now, I guess it feels like 3 times. There's like one in the winter.
September. This is always September.
Or there's winter. There's the one they do at WWDC, and then they do one in the fall.
The phone is September. Every September.
I understand that, but I'm saying
every
there's
single
3.
September.
Oh, I hate you today so much. I might stop talking and shut down this
Ooh,
stupid
I've
thing.
done that before.
I know that you're a child.
But now you're threatening to be a child?
Because you keep interrupting
what are you
me.
doing?
Because you keep interrupting me.
Wait.
I'm having a sip of water.
Wait,
I'm going to need to breathe. I need to breathe. I'm going to
take a minute.
I'm going to take a minute, and I'm going to take 7...
Hit your breathe complication.
I got to move it down. Nope, I don't have it as a complication.
Oh, I do. I like it there.
Only complications I have are complications that tell me something. I don't like ones that are just there for quick hits, because it's easy to get to. Like, I don't need a quick hit.
It's not that easy. I don't know how to get to it. That's why I have it as a complication.
Wow. All right.
It's complicated.
Who
knew that was a word?
It's
complication.
It's in your doc.
Who knew that was a thing?
Complication?
Yeah.
Every watchmaker.
Not me.
Well,
not this guy.
That just shows what kind of watchmaker you are.
I'm not a watchmaker. I'm not even a watch wearer.
Factually incorrect.
As of 2 years ago, I really wasn't a watch wearer.
That's like saying you're not a shirt wearer, but I'm wearing a shirt.
Yeah.
As of 41 years ago, I wasn't a shirt wearer.
I mean, my shirt wearer. What is that?
What's a watch wearer?
Why are people listening to this at this point?
And we're done.
And thank you for downloading.
All right, so let's talk about the stuff they did release, talked about.
All right, this is really your thing, right? Like, you love this stuff. I like it. You love it.
I like it.
You love it. You're in love.
3 new pieces of hardware, which is always nice.
Yeah.
The big one, I guess let's start with the smaller stuff.
Okay. What was small? They didn't really do small stuff. Okay, they are tiny.
They are tiny. So this is Apple's answer to the Bluetooth revolution. Although I feel like this is the second revolution.
Why are they doing this?
Why are they doing what?
Why are they Apple making Apple branded headphones at this point?
Because they've always had Apple branded headphones.
Why are they just not shipping Beats stuff?
Because there's a different lifestyle brand. One is a core product, and one's a lifestyle brand.
Ugh. Do you think the same people make them?
You mean the same, like, underpaid children in China?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Same manufacturing plant.
Yes.
Oh, that's happening.
That's an alert.
I wonder if we should leave.
That's I just said something racist. Alert. Maybe we should stop this podcast and start again.
We are in New York City.
So
those things go off, and you never know what's going on.
My theory is you need to have different. I mean, obviously they bought Beats for the coolness factor. They bought it for some of the hardware. interesting enough, a small piece that they released was the new Beats, the sport ones, right? The ones that go,
in-ears?
yeah, the sport ones. They released the 2.0 version of it,
Wow.
which includes some of the technology that's in AirPods, which you can touch them.
So
to
clearly they're working together there. All right,
working
that's good.
together.
Also, Beats had the streaming service, right? That maybe like was folded into Apple
Well, it became
Music,
Beats One.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's you know
Alright.
it's
Alright,
them getting into the
alright,
music
alright.
world. Anyway, so AirPods they basically look like these like the ones you have, but they're cut off. They have some
Terrible.
cool technology. A good Johnny Ive video.
We took headphones, and they were all garbage. And now we've reinvented them, and these are the best headphones you will ever. The audio quality is unmatched.
I'm
The
excited.
fidelity that you will be speaking with has never been heard before. Your voice will sound as good as it's ever sounded.
You
Without
done?
wires.
No, you're not done. Anyways,
Hashtag Johnny iVoice.
so they do 5-hour battery. They have come in a little case that
Ugh.
charges it in the case. Kind of cool.
So you charge the case, and then the case charges the buds.
That's right. Well, because that's
Sounds
where you
awful.
put them.
Sounds terrible.
All right, I will play this back when you own a pair. And you're like,
I will
love
never
them."
own a pair of these ever.
Really,
Really. Ever.
I have you on record or on digital saying you will never own an Apple Watch too.
No, I will never
No.
own a
I
pair of
have you
AirBuds.
on record saying I will never own an Apple
I will
Watch.
never. You couldn't pay me to wear those.
I think this is like you trying to get me to buy you a pair or something.
I was trying to do that earlier with something else.
I didn't fall for it.
I will. You couldn't pay me. First of all, have you ever seen me wear? And I'm picking yours up. These earbuds.
They could be
Ever.
different. They could be different. You don't know. You
I
don't know until
hate
you try.
these. They hurt my ears.
I
They
understand.
fall out. I despise the headphones that Apple ships with their iPads, iPods, iPhones. I despise them to the point that I buy $4 pairs on Amazon and I consider them disposable. I hate them.
Okay, so those are the old ones. There might be a new one, and you might like them. Just saying, don't.
I feel like it's going to fall out of my ear, and I'd be afraid of it falling out of my ear, so I'd be touching it all the time. Then I'm going to be setting off controls, and I know it's a nightmare for me, those things.
All right, those AirPods, I think they're about $200, $159, something like
that's
that.
money spent elsewhere.
The reason they built that is because they released the new iPhone 7, the worst kept secret on the planet. I think if I were like to like top level it,
Do it. Top level it.
splash proof, toilet proof.
That's good.
That's big.
I've lost a phone in the toilet before.
Faster, obviously they always do faster. They
Can't go
'cause it's-
slower.
Well, can't go slower. And then they really went in on the camera. A much better camera on the bigger one, on the Plus, the phablet. It's got like 2 cameras, so it can do actual zooming and things. I mean, these cameras are becoming unbelievable. I don't know. I know the screen is better. I know it's got a new kind of like, it's taptic engine in there now. So like, just like on the watch, like if you go to do something, it'll do taptic
It's not
on
going
you.
to be a button.
Right. It's just a flat screen, flat piece.
It's like they have something like that already on some of their hardware, don't they?
The non-button button.
It's like a non-button button. I feel
Yeah,
like
it's on the pads on the newer versions of the things. Right. It
right.
doesn't click, but it feels
doesn't
like it
click,
clicks.
but it feels like you're clicking it. Right.
And then I think the big one is really the lack of something they removed. Which they're the first phone maker to do this. And listen, these are the guys who
The
removed
headphone jack,
USB
right?
at one point. These are the people who removed
CD-ROMs,
not CD-ROMs. They removed
Ethernet,
Ethernet. Then they the
Disc.
discs because everything
Disc
came on
drive.
DVD. Everything came on
but
CDs
then
at
they
one
removed
point.
those too.
So they're, in some ways, this is what they do. They like to sort of push the edge.
Can I tell you a story?
But let me finish what I'm actually saying.
Everyone knows what you're saying.
They removed the headphone jack. So the phone comes with a new lightning-based headphone plus an adapter that you can plug in your old one, which you just leave on the end of your old whatever. But To me, this is like the non-est issue ever. Like, of all the non-issues, this is the biggest non-issue.
It is a non-issue. They're giving you a workaround for free.
2. They're giving you an actual
right.
pair
They're
that
giving you
work.
an actual pair of headphones
And
that a lot of people use these, which you're using. You're walking around holding them, the earbuds, which
them.
I can't stand.
Really? You haven't told us.
And they're also giving you a workaround if you have any other pair of headphones that should totally work. And let me tell you a little story, a little sidebar.
Can't wait.
So I'm watching Shark Tank. Love Shark Tank, right?
New season out?
Not
yet.
Soon, with 6 sharks.
So you're watching an old Shark Tank.
I like a year ago, I'm watching an episode of Shark Tank, and it may have been from a prior season, like whatever, season 3 or whatever. So I'm watching one because they have the marathon on CNBC at night.
Yes.
And I'm sitting there, and this guy has a clothing line.
Okay.
And he has this clothing line where he's got a brand that sells tons of clothing every year, but then he's got this new line that he's creating that is like for high-techy people, where all the wires get like hidden in the sleeves and in little pockets or
Scott
whatever.
Vest.
Is that what it is?
Yes, been around for years. Very popular.
I don't
Own
think that's
a couple.
what it is.
Yeah, it is. It is Scott Vest.
Have you seen him on
I
the show?
own some of the things, and
Great,
I watched
you
the
own
episode.
this thing.
So I'm trying to tell you what it is.
Okay, that's awesome.
Don't argue with me.
Whatever. If it's that, it's that. Whatever. But he's trying to get an investment from whomever, and Mark Cuban is just like, no, he's saying no, you can't have a piece of the whole company, my other clothing line
that makes millions.
Yeah, you can get a piece of this, and Mark Cuban's like, that's stupid because there'll be no wires in 5 years. So no.
Right.
And I love Mark Cuban. He'll be at Dreamforce tying it all together, doing the whole Dreamforce-y thing where he's sitting with Chris Sacca and you can pitch them on ideas. But anyway, I just thought that was interesting where Apple went there.
But that episode, the important piece of that episode was that he was trying to sell. He didn't want to give up the licensing on the patents he had that were attached to the other company.
Correct.
He was trying to create this new thing.
Right.
By the way, that clothing line has been extremely popular for years. I own 3 pieces of it. Like, I owned a pair of pants that were supposed to be these travel pants that have all these hidden pockets. It wasn't really about wires. It was more about, like, that he just pocketed the crap out of it. So, like, he was one of the first to build big pockets so you could throw an iPad on inside your jacket and then have places for your earphones. And yes, it was some of it was wired things, and very, very popular. Honestly, I had a couple of them, but they never really, like, I don't know, I just didn't like the look of them. They were very functional, like just pockets everywhere. It was great, but functionally, or the look of them, they just felt a little bulky.
Didn't match your style. Not enough logos.
Not enough logos. It just wasn't. Whatever. It wasn't good enough. Apple's
not
interesting
good enough
that
for
way.
you.
Not good enough for me.
It's pretty bad.
It's pretty terrible.
Pretty
All right.
bad. All right. So what else?
So we'll then talk about the last thing they
the iPhone
announced.
7 Plus has the camera.
We already said that.
We did the camera?
Yeah.
I'm not paying attention to it.
You're the worst podcaster ever. Your time off has not made you better.
I'm so terrible at this.
The last thing that released was the new Apple Watch. Again, very terrible secret.
Series 2.
Everybody knew this was coming. They upgraded the hardware, of course. They came out with some different models. So there's a Nike model that includes like a different band. And then there's different features.
Is there anything else that the Nike model does? That's got to be something.
It is a different band.
Yeah,
it has different faces you can put on it. It's like Nike-based faces.
Right, so like
and
the
then
Hermes
it comes
version.
Pre-installed with the Nike app, Nike running app, which you can install.
Awesome.
That's it. But it's the same price. It's not different. It's just their branding of it.
Could I go buy just the band?
I don't know.
And the Series 1 got a little bit of a refresh as well.
The new processor.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
The new processor. Did it get the GPS or not?
No.
'Cause that was the big thing, right? GPS and water.
GPS and waterproof, but even water or 50 meters. But what I thought was even more interesting is they really went for it. So they basically said, listen, we get what people use the Apple Watch for, what you use it for, what I use it for, which is really activity tracking. Like, great, you can text stuff, and with the new, Watch OS.
Loving the scribble.
You can do that stuff.
Love
but
it.
basically, people are wearing it for activity tracking and working out and running. But there were people that were, swimmers were left out. And so they built in swimming, they built in lap counting and GPS. So you can now, much more than you can now, it had a thing, you used to use this, like when we'd go running, you'd take only your watch because it could somehow figure out.
You had to sync it up really, really well with your phone first. So they suggested that you run about 20 to 30 miles with the phone. And after that, you could disengage from the phone. And I was able to somehow figure it out.
I don't remember it ever being great. I remember us running and being like, yeah, we did 5 miles.
But
and you're like, we did 4.5.
We did a 5-mile run. I was usually about a quarter of a mile off. And we knew that you were right because you had the phone. And we could see, and we knew the route was 5 miles. Right. But for me, like, being a quarter of a mile off on out of a 5-mile just for fun run wasn't too bad to me.
Yeah, it's too high though.
Again,
doesn't matter.
It's fine for me.
GPS is now built in, and which is a feature that existed before. But the 2 reasons I run with my 3 reasons. One is safety, and that's one of the things don't know if I can ever give up. 2 is music, because I like to have the music, playing, and 3 is GPS.
I'm not podcasts.
I don't listen to podcasts while running. The sound of your voice makes me want to crawl.
Not my podcast, but a podcast.
No.
Oh, that's blasphemy.
So music you can put on there and could. That's awesome. GPS is now built in. Super awesome.
Right. Wireless headphones. You're going to have those anyway.
I have them anyway. Safety and then the apps. Like, so I like to run with I do both apps. I basically done the running app and I do an app on my phone.
You just turn them both on?
Yeah.
You have one on your phone and one on your watch, and they're both running.
And the Apple Watch pushes into health, and Runkeeper doesn't. So I don't have Runkeeper push into health.
It's all very confusing because it's like there's activities and then there's health. And I can't tell, like, is it activities pushing into health? I guess that's what it is.
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
So.
It all ends
There's all these
in
apps
health.
that you can hook up to it.
And then I'm trying to think. Then as I do when they release new hardware, the new OSs come with them. So like Apple Watch 2.
We were going nuts with the new messages the other night.
It was fun.
We were just going nutty.
It was fun. The thing is, it's not on this desktop yet.
No, it shows up as like blob sent with confetti.
Yeah. So there's a lot of new stuff. Nothing. I want a new iPhone 7 because I want one. I ordered the new Apple Watch. I did order the Nike one for no other reason that it comes with a band that looks cool. So I basically ordered it for the band.
I always rock my product red.
Yeah, I switch up my bands, and this one looks really nice. Plus the Nike feature, I don't really care about that. It doesn't mean anything to me. Although when they demoed it, it looked fun about how like you could be competitive with people about running. There was a shadow running, which
we didn't mention you just sparked it for me. The sharing, the activity sharing.
Yes,
it's a motivator.
It is.
It is to see like what other people have done. And you're like, well, I better hit my goal today because look at that person's goal and he's crushing it, or look at her, she's okay.
Oh, we can.
I did try to.
Look at you today.
I haven't exercised yet.
Oh, you're at 62%.
And I haven't even exercised, which means I'll have a really good day by the end of the day.
Of course, you're at 62% of your terribly small goal.
It's not awful.
I mean, our personal trainer, has 1,000 calorie goal.
Yeah, but that's because we gave him crap because he was at 350.
But that's his goal, is 1,000 calories a day.
Yeah, but he was at 350, and he saw what ours was, and
really?
I gave him crap. I was like, why is mine higher than yours?
Yeah.
You should be crushing this.
I really like the way it monitors you and pushes you up or down. So hopefully when you start working out again...
I have been. Are you kidding? You see it now. But I tried to share with the partner that shall remain nameless.
Yeah.
And it was like, you can't because you can only share this with people with watches. and he's had a watch, so
I don't think he's updated
not
his
set
software
up correctly.
I tried sharing the day I got it working, and I couldn't share with you or the other
I waited
person.
like 2 days to get that updated.
So,
Yeah.
anyway, lots of new stuff.
Sharing is fun though. It's
Yes.
cool. It's smart because it is a motivator, and if you do it and you do share and you're looking at it and you get I get the ping like, oh, Jason just hit his exercise for the day or his move goal for the day. I'm like, and I look at my ring and I'm like halfway there. I'm like, damn, I should go to the gym.
Right.
And it's like, wow, that worked. That totally worked. I should go to the gym.
Yeah.
I didn't go to the gym. I should go to the gym. I go to the gym. That is like actual, change in behavior. That is a good thing.
And then the last one that I'm liking because it's something that I've wanted to start to do, and basically I had to wait till Apple to do it for me to actually do it, which is the Breathe app. So all the studies and saying that, taking deep breaths, I mean, there's everything from fighting cancer to living longer to, learning, growing wings and flying.
Check the settings on that one.
The idea is that if you stop throughout the day and take very deep breaths at a controlled pace, that it makes you feel better. So
True.
they just like the standing thing, which I thought was really cool. Again, I never thought about standing ever until Apple put it into their watch. Now Breathe is in there, so you can set up the period, how much you want to do, and it's this very well thought out. For a first shot at it, I like how well thought out it is, like because you can close your eyes and it does it all through Taptic, and it just tells you when to take in your breath and when to get out, how many times you want to do it a day.
I changed mine.
Yes, I know.
Yeah. It defaults to 7 breaths a minute, and it defaults to the haptic being prominent,
Right.
which really taps you, like breathe in,
Right.
and then when it's done, breathe out,
Right.
and then it taps you and whatever. I changed mine to 5 breaths per minute,
Yeah.
and I went to the haptic minimal.
And
There's 3 settings. I think for me more the setting on the. I mean, the pace is my pace, so I didn't want the haptic to get in the way of my pace because it's distracting. It's like really tapping you,
right.
but it's like you're too slow. And then when I slowed it down to my actual pace and said, no, it's not 7, it's 5, and it was still tapping me a lot, it's like, well, now you're still distracting me. So I went to minimal, and it's like 2 little taps to breathe in and 1 tap to breathe out. And that's it. So it's like it sort of stays at. There is none. You can set it to none.
Right.
But I think there is eventually I'll probably just set it to none because I have already a rhythm. But I think you will too. Like you'll want to get there.
I just left it at where it's at. It was 7 and prominent, and
just doesn't let your mind go where it should go because you're like feeling these. Like, you shouldn't really have that really, like, tap, 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 tap. It's distracting.
Yeah, for me, it's not yet. Because, again, to even take the minute to stop and to actually do it is so just mind-blowing for me that it's like...
You also do it for a minute.
Yes.
I set it up.
Yeah, I'm starting at a minute. I'm starting at 1, just to try.
5's better.
Well, 5 minutes a day, 1 minute per shot.
I'd rather just do one good 5-minute session and then maybe another later.
Okay.
1 minute to breathe, whatever. That's like...
Well, part of the thing is to do it throughout the day, not just do it once in the morning. I could also take a 20-minute meditation in the morning, but the point is to do it throughout the day. Anyway, I really love it. I'm so impressed with Apple, and I know I'm a huge Apple fanboy.
Such
blah, blah,
a
blah.
fanboy.
What is that they're building in stuff, and they have SOS in here now for helping people, and there's going to be stories of people's lives being saved because I hit SOS. But I like that they are using their technology and their platform to help people live better lives. And I know that's kind of like airy-fairy, but there's such a huge percentage of this population of this world who doesn't stay active, who doesn't eat and drink right, who doesn't, watch their standing, and who's sedentary, and in that, I know it's just a phone or just a watch, it's just a piece of hardware, but I like that they're thinking about this and building it in, and it's the future of where we're going. I mean, I just bought this stupid thing, which I might make my pick later, that measures all this stuff. It's where we're going with all this.
They did make one error.
What's that?
With the SOS.
What's
so
that?
You know how to get to it?
You press and hold the side.
So do that, and then tell me what happens.
I mean, I don't want to hit SOS. I don't even know what it's going to do.
I'm just saying, look how easy it would be to mistakenly hit
Well,
it.
you have to slide it across.
Yeah, but what's right next to it? How to turn the watch off.
Well, it's above it. I have medical ID in the middle.
Okay. So other stuff can show up there if you have your medical ID set up, but you see how easy it is to like screw up a little bit? Like maybe you accidentally turn the watch off when you meant to hit an emergency. Because look at mine, right?
Yeah.
When I hit it, those are really close to each other. So if I mean to send an emergency SOS, I can very easily just turn the watch off.
I thought
or
there
vice
was,
versa.
I thought there was one that if you kept holding it, yeah,
Whoa, emergency.
if you hold it and keep holding it, because again, having to do that swipe,
that's better. Hold it and keep holding
just
it.
press and hold it. It'll happen.
Well, I don't want to do it because I don't want to send out some alert to somebody. But
I hope that didn't do it.
Yeah, I
but
hope
you heard
that-
that, right?
I did. I
that
totally
was crazy.
did.
I want to do it.
people at
Should
home
we
heard
do
it too.
Is it gonna
Let's
call the
just do it.
police?
Just do it. Who cares?
No, I don't want to do it because I think it calls my way.
You know, we're in like a state of emergency here, so we shouldn't really.
We
do
shouldn't
it.
be freaking around. But that, so you just
So
press
that's
and
way
hold.
better. That's good.
That's it.
Good. That's better.
See, there's things that they've really thought about.
Yeah,
I like.
I've fallen and I can't get up. I mean, that
You just press
existed
and
like
hold
20
it.
years ago.
Right.
But whatever. Now we have it on our watch.
But now,
now
30 million
everyone
people
has
has
it, except not just old people.
not just old people. All right.
I'm
Speaking of not just
falling and
old
I
people,
can't get up.
let's pick. Oh,
That
this
should've
is
been
the
the-
worst pick ever.
That should have been the name of our podcast.
Fallen and I can't get up. Sorry, we don't rename them. All right, so next week we'll do Dreamforce 16, Winter 17. Let's get to the picks of the week.
Wait, how could it be Dreamforce 16 if it's Winter 17?
I don't know. They should coordinate.
Whatevs.
Let's go.
Salesforce stickers. Stickers. People love stickers. You know, the phone stickers. People love them. It's free. It's from Salesforce. They have this cool URL, appstore.com/salesforce.com. And like occasionally it works and occasionally you get this weird error. But when you get it to work, it launches the App Store on your phone, or it launches iTunes or whatever on your Mac, and it actually shows you. So even more than the stickers, I'm actually promoting the URL, which is neat because it has all the Salesforce apps
That's
that
cool.
you can download from one place.
Super
so
cool.
it's appstore.com/salesforce.com.
appstore.com/salesforce.com.
Correct.
All right. I did I try? So
The
there's
only one I didn't have in there was stickers, so
Okay.
I'm more picking the URL. I think it's a cool
that's
URL.
cool. Yeah. I mean, stickers are on the new. I mean, obviously, it's all this stuff. I've been playing around with it. It's one of those things that's like fun for about 5 minutes, like Bitmoji or something. You're like, oh, it's so cool, and then you stop doing it. I've been
now
using
they've got the images like built into iMessages or messages. It's kind
Yes.
of like, Giphy.
Yes.
And a lot of the images actually come from Giphy. It's a lot of fun.
Yes.
The wife and I have been like talking in Giphies.
I'm not going to touch
It's
that one.
it's our best communication method.
Still not going to touch it. You want to go one more round? I won't touch it.
Now I'm good.
Okay, yeah, I'm not going to touch it. Just not going to do it. I'm going to pick an oldie but a goodie, but with an update. Because if you've been listening to this podcast for how many years now? 6 years. I might have picked this a long time ago. But I still use it. I still love it.
Does it have
and
dirty blonde hair?
it does not.
Some people will get that when you say the name of it, and those are cool people.
Okay. It is Hazel by a company called Noodlesoft, and it is, you say, what is Hazel? It's Hazel 4.0, so it's a new version. It is a app that runs on your desktop on Mac, and it allows you to, it basically sets up a bunch of things to happen automatically. For me, it does a couple things. It sweeps things off my desktop and throws them into folders automatically. Like I take a lot of screenshots, but I also throw them away a lot. But it automatically just takes a copy and throws them into one big folder called screenshots. So if I ever miss one, I can go back and grab it from there. It can watch folders for things. My favorite one it does is it has a folder. I have a folder of all my stuff that comes in from File This. If you don't use File This, I don't know why. Everybody should use it. It's great. But File this grabs all your statements from all your places and throws them into folders. Well, this thing then sorts them into years and does it automatically. So it'll know that it's a 2013, throw it into a subfolder called 2013, and it just sorts them automatically. I love it. Anyway, Hazel 4.0, it's a $10 upgrade from Hazel 3. It's $32. There are so many things you can do with Hazel. I scratched the tiniest little bit of it. If you go to their website, they have like huge videos and things, and there's all these recipes you can do. You can just automate the crap out of things on your desktop and moving files around, and so you don't have to have that terrible looking desktop with all the stuff on it. Hazel by Noodlesoft. All right, that's it for this week. We'll be back next week. Follow Justin at Just Edelstein. Follow me at Jason Matwood. Follow Arkus at Arkus Inc. We're on the Facebook /Arkus Inc. We're in the Success Community and Power of Us hubs. LinkedIn, Google Plus. Subscribe and review us in iTunes and Stitcher. We're not on Snapchat yet, although I am on Snapchat, and I cannot figure it out. I don't understand why people are using Snapchat. I can't get it. Like, what am I getting? Why am I doing this?
Stories, baby.
It doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. All right, and that's Justin. I'm Jason. And as always, saying enjoy those cloudy days.